Would you believe me if I told you that a single sentence, spoken with conviction at exactly the right moment, can radically transform your financial life in less than 24 hours? It sounds impossible until it happens to you. Imagine someone who spent years struggling to pay bills, full of doubts, fears, and frustrations. Now imagine that very same person receiving, later that same day, a phone call offering an unexpected opportunity that would change everything. And it all began with one sentence, uttered at 5 a.m., with a heart overflowing with certainty. This sentence isn't magic. It activates a spiritual law older than any economic system, the law of energetic response. If you want to see this force work in your favor, you need to know exactly what to say and how to say it. But before we go on, comment below with the phrase, "Money finds me easily and quickly," to declare to the universe that you are ready to receive. Let's begin. To understand the power behind a single sentence capable of manifesting money within 24 hours, we must go beyond common sense. And no one unraveled the mysteries of consciousness and reality better than Jacobo Grinberg. A Mexican scientist and mind researcher, Grinberg devoted his life to studying the interaction between perception, energy, and manifestation. In his boldest works, he proposed that what we call reality is nothing more than a projection of our mental field, a vibrational interface between what we feel, what we think, and what manifests around us. Grinberg explained that there exists a neuronal field, a matrix of information and energy, where the mind interacts directly with the structure of the world. When we alter the frequency of our thoughts, we also change the content that manifests. This idea connects with the teachings of Neville Goddard, who called it assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. In other words, when you affirm a sentence with clarity, emotion, and faith, you are not merely throwing words into the wind. You are emitting a code that the universe recognizes as a legitimate command. And that is why, when done correctly, this specific sentence can activate a real flow of abundance in your life. Most people still believe that reality is determined by physical effort, luck, or connections. But there is a subtler and infinitely more powerful force that governs what does or does not appear in your life: the law of energetic response. This law is not visible. It does not announce itself with noise or flashes. It works in silence, like gravity, but with a reach that extends beyond matter. It responds to your vibration. Imagine for a moment that you are a radio station. The frequency at which you broadcast your thoughts, emotions, and words defines what you tune back in. If you vibrate scarcity, fear, doubt, what do you receive in return? Situations that confirm that frequency. If, on the other hand, you vibrate confidence, gratitude, and certainty of abundance, reality begins to reflect exactly that. Not by coincidence, but by resonance. Jacobo Grinberg taught that reality is shaped by a mental field, a vibrational field that interacts with your surroundings. This field acts like a transmitter. When you state something with genuine emotion and faith, you send a clear signal to the universe. And by law, not by pity, not by judgment, the universe responds. This response makes no distinction between who is good or bad, experienced or a beginner. It responds to your level of vibrational alignment. Just as electricity does not choose who it will light up, the law of energetic response does not discriminate between good or bad intentions. It simply reacts to what you emit with intensity and coherence. And that is exactly why the right sentence, spoken with faith, can trigger a radical shift, because at that moment, you emit a new frequency, and the universe, without hesitation, begins to reorganize your reality to match it. The sentence you'll learn in this video is not a plea, it's a code. A command granting access to the vibration of abundance. But beware, the law responds to your true energy, not to empty words. Repeating words without feeling anything is like sending a mute command to the universe. The power lies not only in the sentence, but in the emotion and certainty with which you speak it. If you say, "I receive abundance," with fear in your heart, the universe responds to the fear, not to the words. But if you say it as if you already possess it, something shifts into motion. It's at that moment the invisible begins to move. Phone calls happen, invitations appear, unexpected solutions surface, not by magic, but by response. This is the true force of the law of energetic response. It doesn't wait for you to earn it. It simply responds to what you believe is already yours. Most people think manifesting something in life depends on asking with enough intensity, as if the universe were a demanding entity awaiting the perfect plea. But that's far from the truth. There's a subtle but decisive difference between asking and declaring, and that difference separates those who manifest with precision from those who wait indefinitely. When you ask, you assume you don't yet have it. You are outside your desired reality. By saying, "I want more money," you communicate to the universe, "I am lacking." And the universe, obedient to your vibration, responds with more experiences of lack. You vibrate need, and need is what returns. Now notice what happens when you declare. To declare is to position yourself. It's to occupy, vibrationally, the space of what you affirm. There is no asking, no waiting, no submission. There is certainty. When you declare, "I receive the abundant flow of money that already belongs to me," you are stating that abundance is already a truth in the invisible field. And because your mind is the access point between that field and the physical world, the universe begins to respond immediately. Neville Goddard said, "You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are." And that is exactly what happens with declaration. You are not desiring wealth. You are being someone wealthy right now at the moment of speech, and the universe, guided by precise laws, realigns everything around you to fit this new state of being. The key lies in the vibrational authority with which you declare. It's not arrogance, it's spiritual knowledge. It's knowing that your right to abundance is already guaranteed. To declare is like signing an invisible contract, assuming the role of co-creator of your reality. There is no room for doubt. There is no room for "what if it doesn't work?" There is only the silent confidence that what has been said is already in motion. And why do most people not see results? Because they speak powerful sentences with the energy of desperation. They say, "I am prosperous," while staring at an empty bank account in fear. The universe doesn't hear the sentence, it responds to the feeling behind it. That's why empty words have no effect. To declare is to vibrate as if you already are. And that changes everything. The universe understands that vibration as a legitimate order and begins to move pieces, situations, connections, and even realign time, all so that what you have declared as truth can materialize. Therefore, when you use the sentence revealed in this video, understand, don't ask, declare, don't wait, assume. And then, prepare for reality's inevitable response. The sentence, "I step into and receive the abundant flow of money that already belongs to me." It appears within 24 hours by divine law. May seem simple at first glance, but every word was chosen as if part of a sacred code. This is not just an affirmation, it's an energetic key built on the universal laws governing manifestation. To understand why it works, we need to analyze each section through the lens of vibration and consciousness. "I step into" marks the beginning of the command and carries tremendous weight. It doesn't say, "I would like," "I want," or "maybe." Hisham, it says, "I step into." This means you are not asking permission, nor waiting for something external to grant you access. You are taking a position. You are firmly crossing the line between scarcity and abundance. To step into is a verb of action. In the energetic field, it breaks the pattern of waiting and immediately activates the frequency of belonging. And receive. adds a vibration of acceptance. To receive is the opposite of resistance. Many people say they want money, but unconsciously reject it with beliefs like, money is dirty or it's not for me. When you declare you are receiving, you tell the universe, I am ready, I am open, I accept. This dissolves internal barriers and aligns your field with the natural flow of prosperity. The abundant flow of money is not just any flow, it's abundant. This activates the idea of more than enough, of overflow. It rejects just enough and tunes in to the vibration of plenty. Words like flow evoke continuous movement without interruption. You are not asking for a fixed amount. You are connecting with a living current of wealth. That already belongs to me is the most powerful part. It dissolves the idea of separation between you and money. This isn't something you're trying to earn. It's something that is already yours and is merely being called back to your field. This phrase cuts doubt at the root because it declares spiritual ownership over abundance. It appears within 24 hours, adds a vibrational urgency trigger. You are not saying one day, maybe. You establish a clear window. This causes your field to organize with focus and expectation, accelerating manifestation. It's like setting an appointment with the universe. By divine law is the final seal. You are not operating on worldly logic, but on the eternal laws of creation. This removes the weight of ego, doubt, and fear. You are invoking a higher order that operates with precision, not by human effort, but by spiritual alignment. When this sentence is spoken with genuine emotion, it immediately transforms your vibration. And when vibration changes, reality responds, not by magic, but by principle. You may repeat the perfect sentence. You may speak the words with the right tone. You may even feel a burst of enthusiasm for a moment. But if, minutes later, you check your bank balance with distrust, open your phone expecting proof, or think, did it really work? You energetically cancel everything you set in motion. Doubt is the silent poison of manifestation, and worse, it's subtle. It doesn't shout, it doesn't present itself explicitly. It whispers, is this really true? What if it doesn't work? What if I'm deceiving myself? These thoughts seem harmless, but they carry a powerful vibrational charge that directly conflicts with the command you just sent to the universe. Doubt interrupts the flow like a stone thrown into a calm river. It breaks the coherence between your word and your vibration. And remember, the universe doesn't respond to words but to the dominant vibration. If you claim prosperity but emit insecurity, insecurity is what will guide the outcome. Many plant the seed of abundance only to dig it up every hour to see if it has sprouted. They say the sentence with faith at 5 a.m., but by 8 a.m., they're already searching for signs, comparing, calculating. This impatience reveals that their faith is not yet rooted, and without roots, no seed thrives. Jacobo Grinberg taught us that the field of perception shapes reality. What you hold in your mind and heart projects into the physical world. And here is the secret. You don't have to struggle for manifestation to happen. You only need to remain aligned with the certainty that it is already done. Neville Goddard called this persisting in the state of the wish fulfilled. It means continuing to live as someone who has already received, even if the eyes have yet to see anything. This is where most fail. They want to see to believe. But spiritual laws demand that you believe to see. The real test of doubt does not happen at the moment of declaration. The true proof comes in the hours that follow. How do you act after saying, I receive the abundant flow of money? Do you live your day with calm as someone who trusts the process? Or do you become restless, anxious for an immediate sign? This attitude reveals where your vibration truly stands. True faith does not require proof. It suffices unto itself. It trusts, even in silence. And it's this silence, the hours between declaration and manifestation, that define your result. Doubt may seem like just a thought, but it is a vibrational command of interference, and the universe responds to it too. Therefore, after declaring, do not wait vigilantly, live with confidence, do your tasks, smile, walk as if you are already prosperous, because in the invisible world, the process has already begun. Only doubt has the power to interrupt it. The most critical moment of manifestation isn't when you speak the sentence, it's afterward. How you live the next hours determines whether your vibrational field remains open or is blocked by your attitudes, thoughts, and emotions. Most say, I receive the abundant flow of money that already belongs to me, but then go back to living as if nothing has changed. That energetic incoherence pushes away everything that had begun to draw near. Think about it. Someone who has already received what they asked for is not anxious, does not live in control, does not desperately seek signs. That person lives with calm, with lightness, with gratitude. They trust. And that trust is the exact frequency that maintains the connection with abundance. Jacobo Grinberg said that reality is an illusion structured by the mind. That means that by maintaining a stance coherent with what you declared, the field around you restructures to reflect this new identity. It's not just about positive thinking, it's about behaving as someone who is already living the result. So, how should you act after declaring something so powerful? You continue your routine as if the matter is already resolved. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to wait for a sign. You simply act with the same natural ease of someone who knows the sun will rise tomorrow, not because they saw it rising, but because they know the order of things. Manifestation follows the same order. The invisible always precedes the visible. Simple actions like maintaining good posture, speaking with presence, acting with purpose, demonstrate to your subconscious that you truly believe what you affirmed. And the more you reinforce this behavior, the more your nervous system accepts this new reality as legitimate. Another essential point: keep creating value. It's not about crossing your arms and waiting for money to fall from the sky. It's about acting with the mindset of someone who is prosperous, and prosperous people move, create, contribute, and put themselves on paths through which abundance can circulate. Imagine you have already received what you asked for. What would you do? Perhaps you'd start a project, organize your finances, make purchases more freely, help someone. Do those things, even on a small scale. The universe interprets these gestures as vibrational confirmations that you are ready to receive more. When you live as someone who already has, you complete the manifestation cycle perfectly, because the universe responds not to what you expect, but to what you demonstrate you are. And that demonstration isn't just in words, it's in how you walk, breathe, think, and decide. After declaring, act like an owner, not like a beggar waiting for a miracle. That is the frequency that changes everything. You did everything right. You repeated the sentence with emotion. You believed, visualized, and aligned vibrationally with abundance. And then nothing happened. No message, no sign, no money. The silence feels deafening. And the conditioned mind, trained to look for immediate proof, begins to whisper, "You're deceiving yourself." This is the very moment the greatest test arises, the test of reality. What do most people do at this point? They give up. They cancel their faith. They enter doubt. And without realizing it, they deactivate the entire manifestation field that had begun to form. But the silence after declaration is not the absence of response. It's a necessary interval where the invisible organizes itself to become visible. Jacobo Grinberg explained that physical reality is only the final layer of a deeper process. The structure of reality begins in the mind, passes through the vibrational field, interacts with time, with other consciences, with sequences we cannot control. What you affirm now must traverse a complex system of connections, synchronicities, and possibilities before it appears before your eyes. And that's where your part comes in, keeping the field open until the cycle completes. This demands spiritual maturity. Faith isn't tested at the moment of excitement, but in the face of emptiness. Those who manifest with precision are those who understand that silence is part of the process, not its end. Imagine a farmer. He plants a seed today and doesn't run to the field tomorrow expecting a tree. He trusts nature's timing. He waters, he cares for the soil, and believes that even without seeing it, something is happening beneath the surface. Manifestation works the same way. When nothing seems to be happening, remember, the universe does not operate on the logic of human immediacy. It works under eternal laws, where each frequency yields a precise response, but in its own time. And that time often serves to strengthen you internally, to test your coherence, to expand your capacity to receive. Therefore, when everything seems silent, continue acting with faith. Live your day with lightness, feel prosperous, not because you have seen the result, but because you chose to vibrate as someone who knows it is coming. There is no greater power than remaining unshakable when nothing has yet manifested. What separates those who manifest consistently from those who always fail at the last second is the emotional response to temporary emptiness. Reality tests you not to punish you, but to confirm the solidity of your vibration. If you maintain the right stance, reality will bend, because there is no sentence more powerful than one spoken by someone who remains faithful to what they have affirmed, even when everything still seems the same. Now that you understand the power behind the sentence, the spiritual structure that supports manifestation, and the principles that activate abundance, the final question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Transformation does not happen because you heard. It happens when you decide to live what you've learned. So today, find a moment of silence. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and declare with genuine emotion, I step into and receive the abundant flow of money that already belongs to me. It appears within 24 hours by divine law. Feel each word vibrate within you, then release. Trust. Live the rest of your day as someone who has already received, because that is what opens the channel of manifestation. If this message resonated with you, subscribe to the channel to keep receiving content like this, aimed at awakening your creative consciousness. And comment below, I trust the universe's response to strengthen your commitment to this new reality. Remember, it's not the world that needs to change for you to prosper. It's you who must assume the vibration of someone already prosperous. Everything you need is already within you.